Okay, so my project is on James Stewart versus the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Basically, an overview of the case was James Stewart is a supercross racer who got suspended in 2014 for having a banned substance in his urine after a supercross race. And the court process was basically just asking if Stewart committed the negligent act of not knowing the rules and basically having the banned substance in his body. So, a little background on James Stewart. Sorry about the PowerPoint. I didn't really know how to make it in my screen, so I just printed it out and here it is. So, summary on James Stewart is he was introduced to motocross at age 3. He won 84 amateur titles before the age of 16. When he turned pro after that. He was named the 2002 AMA Rookie of the Year. He was also named one of the 20 teens who will change the world in April 2003 in Teen People magazine. He's had a lot of success, but he's also known as somebody who is injured a lot and can't really keep it on two wheels. Because of that, he has been out or injured for more than half of his career. So half of the time that he's been a pro, he's been injured and out of competition. Even with that, he's still been able to win 98 total supercross and motocross races. He's also medaled in the X Games Best Whip. He is a Red Bull Straight Rhythm champion, and he is the Monster Energy Cup champion. According to Motorcycle USA, James Stewart is an enigma, a freak on two wheels. So James Stewart is an icon in the sport of motocross. He's known as one of the best of all time, and he will be inducted to the Hall of Fame once he retires, most likely. So for Stewart's suspension, he was prescribed Adderall for his ADHD by his doctor when he was 12 years old. Adderall contains a banned substance according to the World Anti-Doping Agency guidelines. This medication is frequently approved for long-term use by many athletes with that exact medical condition. But Stewart's violation was actually not because he was taking it, but because he failed to go through the process to tell the FIM and the World Doping Agency that he was taking this substance. So his violation was a failure to follow the correct process for approval as outlined in the FIM rulebook as of 2014. Prior to use, all athletes must submit a therapeutic use exemption request for approval. And because James failed to request that approval, it has now resulted in his 16-month suspension. So the FIM ruled that under Article 2.1 of the CAD, they've reached a decision to suspend James Stewart for 16 months from any kind of competition or race or anything like that. According to the release, the suspension is retroactive from the date of collection, and so he was suspended in April 2014, and he was ineligible to race until August 11, 2015. So that was just this last 2 months he got released. So because Stewart did not really violate any rules according to him, the only thing that he failed to do was provide the request for this substance by the FIM before the competition, and because he didn't do that, he was suspended. He wasn't taking any kind of steroid or any illegal drug. He was taking a completely legal drug that he's been taking for over 15 years, and but it does state in the new anti-doping agency rulebook as of 2014 that they need to release everything that they are taking, including legal substances. So Stewart said in his appeal that we plan to appeal, and I personally feel that the punishment far outweighs the situation, especially since I received both WADA and USDA approvals that I prove I'm not cheating. So Stewart went to the two different drug agencies and got the signatures from them saying that he was not cheating. However, the rule book says that he needs to submit the forms that what he is taking, legal and anything that he's taking, illegal, legal drugs, any kind of substance that he's taking at all that's going into his body, he needs to release to the FIM, which he did not do. So right after it happened, he stated that he was contemplating retiring. The reason why he didn't was because of the support he's gotten from the AMA, which is the American Motorcycle Association, and his fans. So because of that, he was able to stay positive, somewhat positive, and continue trying to get this overturned and see what he could do. So on his appeal, the court. So he went to a court in Switzerland where the FIM is sanctioned, and he did his appeal. On the merits of according to the judge, Mr. Stewart had committed the anti-doping rule violation, which states that in no particular in each rider's personal duty to ensure that no prohibited substance enters his or her body. Yes, the CDI further found that this was the first anti-doping rule violation recognized on Mr. Stewart. So basically it just states that the drug is not illegal, and it would have probably been fine if he had submitted the paperwork, but because he did not submit the paperwork, it is a clear violation of the rules. And according to the judge, on the Article 10.5.2 of the CDA, considering all the circumstances and having regard to Mr. Stewart's degree of fault and negligence, the CDI single judge came to the conclusion that the appropriate sanction to be imposed on Mr. Stewart was a period of ineligibility for 16 months. So even though he got the approval from the WADA, the USADA, the AMA, so basically everything other than the FIM, he got approval saying that he's not cheating and he's not doing anything wrong specifically, because the FIM rulebook stated that he needed to submit what he was on. Because he did not do that, black and white, he did not follow the rules, he's suspended. So Stewart said that the punishment far outweighs the crime. However, it is stated what the crime was, what the punishment is for that crime, and he did that, and the crime was, and that's how it went. So in conclusion, Stewart served his time away from the sport. Fans of motocross everywhere were outraged at this conclusion that it was a 16-month suspension. None of this has never happened before in motocross. Stewart contemplating retiring, but didn't because of the support he got from his fans and the American Motocross Association. The suspension just got lifted 2 months ago, and he's ready to compete. And he's actually going to be competing in Las Vegas next week, so that's going to be great. A lot of people are really excited to see him back. He's made it clear to the press that he is hungrier than ever for more, and he will now be the second oldest motocross racer, second only to Chad Reed, which is his longtime rival. So in conclusion, it doesn't really matter if what you're doing is, in your opinion, is right or wrong. According to the rule book, if you're breaking a rule in a rule book, the punishment for that rule being broken is going to be applied. So the judge ruled that James Stewart was being negligent in not giving the information over to the FIM in time, and so because of his negligence, he was suspended for the full punishment that was given to him, which is over now. But yeah, so that's it.